Everybody needs to take a breath. The Chiefs went down swinging against the Buffalo Bills, and I'm here to tell you, it's a good thing. Let's break it down. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue. Ryan going rogue on the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back in. A lot of people don't know what RGR means. Well, that's it. Ryan going rogue. And I am out on left field on this one. This is going to be a little bit of a different breakdown because it's not about the players. It's not about a ton of things that they did, et cetera, et cetera. This is about you and me and how we're getting used to what this season is. Not going to be going too in depth. Apologies for the voice. I am still pretty dang sick, but I'm trying to power this out for you guys because I want everybody to get this message clear. Losing this game was a good thing for everyone involved with the Kansas City Chiefs. They needed the mental break. The pressure that was starting to form about an undefeated season was already growing too big for them to effectively deal with, and it was getting even worse had they beaten the Bills, the last real hurdle that you can foresee in the future. So what does this do? It allows a couple of things. And first, it allows some guys to start to tick up. Charles Omenihu is going to be back. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be back. It lets him back off of Hunt a little bit, and Kareem gets a little bit of a rest while you pepper in. And I do mean pepper, slowly adding reps over the next 5-6 weeks for Isaiah Pacheco. It's not just throw him back into the mix and he's your instant starter again. I don't expect him to start for a couple of weeks. And it should be Kareem Hunt holding it down until they can get there. That's absolutely fine. Same thing with Charles Omenihu. It's not, hey, welcome back, you're cleared, let's go. That is for the playoffs. Both these guys are for the playoffs. You got to pepper them in. The bigger gap for me is on the defensive side because with FAU coming up with a little bit of an injury, I think you have to try to move in the new guys along with the Omenihu and just start getting that rotation going. The rotation is going to be key in the postseason because you got to have fresh legs. They're tired right now. I'm telling you, they are tired. Between the Bucks game, the short week, this week against the Bills, who gave them everything they could. The Bills sold out to win this game. Kudos to them. They did a good job. But it was a task for the Chiefs, and they're worn out. This all comes back to one reason that I'm going to get to in just a couple of minutes.
The best way to get into the action is with BetUS and their deal with code YouTube150. You can start playing today with that exclusive offer. You can get into all the football that you want, whether it's this week's matchup for the Chiefs, whether it's getting into the season-long odds against Super Bowl, against the division. The Chiefs are heavily favored in a lot of those, but there are plenty of bets to be made. You can do it all at BetUS, where you can get 150% of your deposit bonus up to 3 times and up to $2,000. Use YouTube 150 today at BetUS.
But the pass rush has to get better. Joshua Uche has to be used more. He put in a couple of good reps. I'm going to show them to you here as we go through. I'm not going to do a huge breakdown on them, but just so you see some of these reps rolling through. The guy can get under pads. He can push the pocket. He does have a tendency at the top of some rushes, should the quarterback step up, to not be able to counter quite as quickly or turn that top corner. He's got to turn around the left shoulder when he initially attacks the left tackle. He's good at that. But when he gets to the top, if he just clamps it off and comes back down through the heart of the pocket, he will make more plays. And I think that's something that's just an evolution for him. He's got to continue to push for that. He's got to be on the field more. With FAU down, I think it's finally time. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about Cam Thomas, but I believe he has something to offer. I'm not sure why he's not on the field, but they got to start giving it a chance because they need to work on this rotation. You can't overtax Omenihu when he comes back. You can't overtax Mike Dana now that he's back. You got to be able to have a full slate going forward because the pass rush will be absolutely critical come the postseason. So you got to focus on that. You got to get it done. I think that they can do that, and it will definitely help. You got to give everybody else a mental break. That includes Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Andy Reid talked about simplifying, maybe cutting down some of the motion, maybe getting back to basics, quote unquote. And I think that's a great idea. I think it's a necessary idea because I think they've been pushing too far, too fast, too hard. In some ways, going back to the run more for Andy feels strange, but is the right formula. He should be doing that. That's what they need to dial it down. Same thing with Patrick. Patrick's mind is going too much. He's trying to do too much. He's got too much mental pressure on himself. Hopefully, alleviating the whole undefeated talk will help him there, but he's also got to take some of his mental stress off. You got to get back to the simple, quick game. I've talked about the quick game because of the schematics of it being advantageous, but mentally, they need it as well because they got to take some of the pressure off now. They also have to do two other things. And the reason that this is all coming together is because pressure is what mounts here. And by taking this time to reset a couple of things, it will all come together in one way that this week is going to be critical to. I'll get to that in just a minute. The guy that I think needs it the most right now, though, and I want to talk about him first, is Kingsley Suamataia. They made him inactive last week. I didn't expect to see it, but that tells you just how raw he still is in terms of his mental capacity to deal with some frustrations and some poor performance and bounce back. So they needed to get him a rest and get him out of that pressure cooker. Now he's been able to be away. Now they have an opponent coming up with the Panthers that they should be able to beat without having to give their A, B, or maybe even C effort. You have to start to groom Kingsley. At the end of the day, Kingsley has this higher ceiling between him and Wanya Morris. He isn't able to get there now. By resetting him and giving him last week off, and now having an opponent that shouldn't be too much of a threat, he's in a better position to bounce back and actually make improvements and start to reach that potential. He's had a tougher road than most do on the offensive line when they come into this system, but he can still get there, and they need him to. It's a big investment. You just got to let the kid grow into it. He's only 21 years old. Do everything you can to make his process of growing and evolving the easiest you can. And that comes back to where they are right now. This whole season is based on the fact that they had an early bye, and most seasons when they've been successful, right about now is when they get a week off and they get to relax and they come back and they power through the end of the regular and straight into the playoff run. They don't have that luxury this year. And so they have to treat this week coming off of the relief of losing a ball game, yet you're still the AFC number one. You still have the best record in the NFL. Yes, you have a loss now, not the end of the world. You have to capitalize on that mentality and that decompression to start the same process as though this was a bye week, even though you just have to play the Panthers. They are still a football team, and any football team is capable of beating each other in any given week. But this is maybe the best timing for a non-bye week that we've seen all season. They need to take advantage of it. They need to whoop up on them and get out of there. It needs to be a butt kicking, and it needs to instill confidence in everyone on the field and take pressure off of everyone else. That is what this team needs. It is a mental health week for the stretch run down the regular season. That's how important this week is, in a week that a lot of people are not giving it credit for. So that's the bottom line. Get ready for what you normally would do now and accelerate through the end of the reg season to get to the postseason. Mind your P's and Q's. Don't look past any teams, including this one, and certainly not the Steelers, and you're going to find yourself in position to have a first-round bye, and then everything is back on its quote-unquote normal track. That's what the key focus needs to be for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the way I see it, and that's why I broke it down this way. If you want to see more of my real talk about what's going on in this team, don't miss Tuesday nights. That's when I do the breakdown. Tomorrow night will be Dan with the film review. Get in the film room with him because you will learn stuff and you will see what's going on with this team. All the advanced stats and takeaways are with Gary on Thursday night. And then Friday, we're going to give you the game plan to get the next W and move next rung towards the Super Bowl. That's what we do on Fridays. Thanks for being with us. I appreciate you guys. Like, sub, hit the bell, hit the store, do the stuff, make the things. Have a great night. I'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.